Let's talk.
Hi, I'm Lisa Todd. Welcome to the third episode, part two of end.formants. END.formants. It's our world. Let's talk about it. Okay, so to continue on with the cyber thread, the new one is cyber cheating just as bad as regular cheating? Is it really cheating? Is it still cheating, Paula?
Well, considering I had somebody cyber cheat on me, yeah, it's cheating. You know, what she said was very interesting. She had responded to, I guess, some open forum where this person was looking for a date. So she ended up going behind my back and, planning a date with this person. It turns out this person knew me, contacted me.
Okay, so
Well, she tried to tell me that it wasn't cheating because she never actually went through with the date, but when you're planning a date, it's cheated. I'm sorry, it's cheating.
Okay, so Brian, you seemed strong. You had a strong opinion about this. What is it?
Well, I'd say yes. Cheating is cheating is cheating.
Cheating is cheating is cheating. Okay, Jenny, what do you think?
Well, I think that the definition of cheating is doing anything that your significant other would not want you to be doing. And therefore, if you're planning a date or saying sexual things online or actually having sex or hell, even just dancing, depending on your partner. I mean, some partners would be perfectly okay with you having sex with other people. Some partners not even want you to dance with other people. I mean, everyone's different. But whatever your partner thinks is cheating is what is cheating.
Okay, so somebody else can determine what cheating is. Tina, what do you have to say about cyber cheating? Is it cheating?
Yes, cheating is cheating, but I think, depending, like Jenny said, well, if I can't even talk.
It's okay, Tina.
Let me try this over.
Okay, go ahead.
If you are, I think intention has a lot to do with it also.
True.
I tend to flirt, okay? But that's my nature.
Right.
It's not like and most people I'm going to flirt with or joke with or whatever, they know that that's as far as it's going. And as far as my significant other, if there was one in my life, whether there is or isn't, if I can't tell them what I'm doing, then my intentions are bad. But if I can tell them, then there's not anything, unless of course I don't have a conscience, but I do. So I think intention has a lot to do with it also.
I would agree with the intention bit. Paula's got her hand up, so Paula.
Tina, I loved what you just said. If you can't tell them, that is that. You know what? Thank you for saying that. I love that. I'm going to plagiarize it if you don't mind. That was brilliant. But let me ask you guys something. Since I have 4 other people here, do you agree that planning a date without going through with it online is cheating? Because they're intending to do it. There's the intention part, right? But I'm just saying, right, and to do it just for whatever reason, it fell through. Right, and even if they never intended, I mean, like you said, I mean, look, I'm a flirt too, Tina. I flirt shamelessly, and I like it, but I would never. But the thing is, there's a difference with flirting, and it's my flirting is more because I'm very gregarious, and I like to make people feel good, and it's fun. But I don't believe there's any harm in that. But when you're intending to do something underhanded to somebody, that in and of itself is cheating to me. If somebody's fantasizing about somebody else, I think that's cheating as well. I mean, well, okay, a movie.
I gotta disagree with that.
I was gonna say, I'm talking about, let's say I have a partner and she has, she's got a friend that she's actually having sexual fantasies about. I'm sorry, but you know what? Look, if she doesn't tell me and she doesn't act on it, I guess that's okay. But I don't want to know about it. And honestly, if I knew that she was, I probably couldn't be in a relationship with that person. But then you wouldn't want to be in a relationship with that person anyway. Absolutely, you're right. You're in a committed relationship I really do. And I'll tell you, in my lifestyle, and I know my friends are going to kill me for saying this, but I only say this with my experience. I have dated about the same amount of gay women as I've dated straight women. And I have to tell you that almost every gay woman I've been with has cheated on me. None of the straight ones have. So, I mean, that's only my experience. But maybe I find the crazy, dishonest sociopathic lesbians. I don't know, maybe they're attracted to me. But I get the same normal straight women. But all my gay girlfriends pretty much have cheated on me. I actually had a woman try to tell me I got her pregnant. True story. I swear to you, true story, because she was, doing the hokey pokey with a man.
Well, let me tell you that Tina has been very, she's had her hand up, so she's got something to say about this. Tina.
Okay. When you were saying about that in your relationships they've cheated, I think that goes back to if it. Okay, I'm sorry, my dog is barking. So
Banned.
I think that goes back to legalizing gay marriages. I think that the mindset is, well, if we can't get married, we can't be in a committed relationship, or that I don't know. I'm not gay. I don't really know how it works, but I think that if it was legalized, or if it was legal to be married in a gay relationship, I think there'd be more commitment and more people would tend to not.
Okay, hang on a second because Jenny had her hand up. And Jenny, as we know, has been in a long-term... You still together this week, Jenny?
But she's also married.
Yes, we're still married.
Okay, so you're still successful. Go ahead, Jenny, you can speak.
Yeah, well, when I'm going to be totally honest here, a little scary, but totally honest, when Vicky and I first got together, I had a serious problem with the whole concept of being monogamous. I mean, I was young, and I was, really, really, really into, oh, that person's cute tonight, and that person's cute tonight. And it was really hard for me because Vicky was, of course, Vicky's like 5, 6 years older than me, so, a little bit more mature to start with, and, just a more balanced, balanced isn't the right word, but, a more faithful person, kind of person, the kind of person who would never cheat under any circumstances to anybody. That's just the nature of the human being. That
If she dated me,
is my
she'd
spouse.
cheat. If she dated
Probably, but you're not me. So, no, just kidding. No, Vicky is just not built for cheating. That's one thing that I know for a fact is true. But, because Vicky is not built for cheating, she's also not really built for forgiving cheating. So, needless to say, we had a really rocky start because Vicky was like, "Oh, we're in a relationship. There's no cheating," and I'm like, "Well, it's not cheating if I didn't agree to not cheat yet." So, I mean, we actually had this this problem for a good long time, and we did get over it. But just letting you know, obviously, we're still together, so we must have gotten over it. But now I've reached the point where I can't even imagine being with anybody else. But it was a rocky road to get here. Now, what was the point? I forgot my point.
I don't know, but Paula has her hand up and she's waiting patiently. Paula, what do you got to say?
Tina, I understand what you're saying, but I disagree because I think a piece of paper doesn't make you faithful. On the flip side,
I do agree with that, though.
Okay, on the flip side of what I said about my experiences, okay, I have many gay friends that have been in long-term relationships and they're very faithful. And I'll tell you something, I have lots of straight friends as well, and the relationships that I admire that are the strongest of the people I know are my gay friends, my lesbian friends. Their relationships are strong. They are respectful to each other, and I'll tell you, my lesbian friends that have children are the best parents I've ever seen.
Yes.
I mean, that flies in the face with telling lesbians or gay people they can't adopt. They're the best parents I've ever seen. But I'll tell you that there's, people cheat. They cheat, and it's wrong, no matter how you do it, when you do it. But gay women, and Jenny, you can correct me, at least if I'm wrong, but they nest very fast. The joke what does a lesbian bring on a second date? A U-Haul. It's the truth, though. As soon as they meet on the first date, on the first date, they change their Facebook status to relationship. They're in a relationship. On the second date, they're flying to get married. On the third date, they're buying 3 cats. I mean,
I gotta say one thing, and then I'm gonna let Brian chime in. I gotta say one thing, Paula. I don't know who you're dating. Brian, come on, talk to us. Either save the breeders, or I don't know. What do you think, Brian?
Well, I'm a sort of reactive reader myself, but what I wanted to say was something apropos of what Paula said. I actually have read of a study or two to see whether, same-sex parents did as well as different sex parents. Apparently, there's at least one study out there which found that children with 2 mothers did best of all. No joke.
Okay, very good. Well, I want to say this, that JR says cheating is cheating. In my opinion, relationships are emotional as well as physically. Actually, more emotional. The physical is a great plus. Brandy Lynn says cheating is cheating, period. Capital P-E-R-I-O-D. Barbara says absolutely. Jock says it's not cheating if you don't have physical contact with the other person. Cyberspace is just that. It's space out there. I personally am not into cyber sex or sexting. Annette says, yes, one thing leads to another. That's what I think, Paula, the issue with your ex is. Brandy Lynn says, so, if there's adequate space between people, it's not cheating? Question mark. That's absurd, she says. A relationship is a commitment between 2 people, and to bring a third party into any space of said relationship becomes a betrayal. She's pissed off about that. So I just gotta say this. I think cheating is cheating is cheating. If you got somebody else on your mind or in your heart, you're not where your mind or heart should be. Paula has her hand up. Paula.
I'm sure my exes, cheated on me, not because of my charming, winning, control freak personality. I had nothing to do with that.
Okay, well, we got a new topic, and the new topic is it's a little political because we seem to thrive on politics, or maybe not so political as maybe Paul and Brian can make it. The topic was from Likeable, and it is, when kids are suspended from school, should they be required to do some sort of community service, such as clean highways? I'm going to go to Brian first. Brian.
Actually, I don't see why that shouldn't be the case.
So you think that when they're suspended, they should as well be doing some sort of community service?
Why not? So long as the same sanction is applied across the board to anyone of any race or class. I mean, you get some people being privileged in this, and you're basically storing up dynamite for the future.
Why would they?
Paula I was just going to go to you, Paula. Go ahead.
Brian, with the race again. Why would they,
He said class, not race.
Yeah, but same thing with Brian.
He said both.
Good point.
Why would a class or race? I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. And I agree that this was a topic my friend came up with, and I think it's brilliant. And I think she had a great idea when she said that. I think students that are suspended should have to do some sort of community service, number 1. It's constructive, and number 2, it's a deterrent. It would make them think twice the next time they acted out. And you know what? It would teach them responsibility and accountability, which is what our country is sorely lacking right now. Honestly, kids are not accountable. I mean, it's not like when I was a kid. I was terrified to give my teacher a dirty look. These days, kids are coming to school with guns, and they're attacking their teachers. Make them go out and do something. If they misbehave or they act out and they get suspended, go do something for your city.
Okay, I'm going to go to Tina. Tina, what are you thinking?
I think that community service would be great for them. But like Paul was just saying that kids come to school with guns. my daughter's 25 right now, but when she was in 6th grade, there was an incident where a boy punched my daughter, and she defended herself, and they were both suspended. I don't think that's fair when a child is defending themselves, because, to be honest with you, nobody else defended her, so she did what she should do.
Absolutely.
Right.
They were both suspended. I ended up taking her out of school and homeschooling her for 2 years after that. And that same year, 83 of the teachers in that school did not return due to the violence. One of the teachers got her nose broken, and the police officer who was assigned to that school, he didn't come back that year either because of the same reason. So, yeah, maybe community service is a good thing. Maybe they need to be held accountable, and it should be the kid who starts it, not the kid who defends themselves.
Absolutely.
Very good. Okay.
Not just because it was my daughter, but anybody.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go to Jenny because Jenny hasn't weighed in on this. Jenny, what do you think?
Well, temporarily ignoring the possibility or the likelihood that not all suspensions are fair. It seems to me that a lot of the kids who get suspended, particularly the kids who get suspended more than once, they like it. I mean, what is it? It's a free vacation. That's kind of stupid. I mean, why are we giving kids what they want? I mean, not all kids want to get out of school. A lot of kids like learning and whatever, but they're not the ones getting suspended. Usually, it's the kids who get suspended over and over and over again. They're the ones who want to get out. If you don't give them some reason to hate suspension, they're going to keep doing it. And so, community service certainly doesn't have to be something they hate, but it should definitely not be a vacation. They should be doing something useful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Brian, what would you have them do, Brian? Brian, what would you have a bunch of kids that have been suspended? What would you have them do?
Some elementary tasks, depending on the weather, maybe in the nature of cleaning up, like say cleaning up the park or helping the janitorial staff here or there. On the other hand, I'm not sure that this should be among community service now that I think about it a little more. But in what used to be my hometown, Philadelphia,
Yes.
have some very good murals painted along the highway. I mean, why not put some of the more creative ones to something like that, too?
Okay. Very good. Let me just tell you that Brandy Lynn says, I think community service is a great idea, but cleaning the highway is a bit harsh, not to mention dangerous. I think that maybe taking over the school's janitorial position
Let him clean I-95 during rush hour. Come on.
for the days that are... and Jock says, let's face it.
They can run. They can
Lisa,
Yes, Tina.
okay, I have to tell you, I know her personally, and if I don't fix this, she'll be very angry with me. It's just Brandolin.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Brandolin, we apologize that I said your name wrong, and it took Tina half an hour to get it right.
I'm sorry. I didn't rush you.
But I want to continue on because Jock says, let's face it, kids that get suspended are problem children. In other words, Jock, what, we should throw them away? But anyway, he says, some on drugs, alcohol, or just wanting attention. Imagine putting these kids on the highway, exclamation point. In my opinion, a program like this would end up being too much of a liability for the school board and the country. Or the county, I'm sorry. Barbara says, how often are these children the reason for graffiti? There you go. I believe they need to paint it and clean it up. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Just go ahead and clean up all that beautiful graffiti that you were talking about? I'm just asking. I mean, are you asking them to paint, or are you... Because she's saying...
No, he wasn't talking about graffiti, Lisa. He was talking about, like, murals.
Yeah.
yeah, a mural.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, when you said murals, I saw graffiti in my head, so I automatically... You're right. There is a big difference. There's a big difference.
When somebody in authority says this is your wall, do with it as you like, provided you follow whatever guidelines we have. Otherwise, do with it as you like. Then it's not graffiti. It's art.
Okay. So, and let me just tell you that, that there's a lot of people that weighed in, and Brandolin again. Did I say it right that time? All right, very good. If a child is suspended and this is part of the punishment, I'm sure, just like with corporal punishment, there has to be a permission and release form signed by the parents. Now, let's talk about that, because here we get into a little bit of politics. Okay? Now, here Brandolin's saying, of course, that the parent has to agree to it, and chances are the parent does have to agree to it. And once again, you have a problem. So, Paula, talk about that.
Oh, the parent, look, I'm sure most parents would gladly sign. I'm sure parents are tasking the schools with raising their children these days. I'm sure most parents would be very happy that their child was out learning responsibility and being accountable, which would deter them from being suspended again. I really do. I think parents would be on board with that. And, I think it should be a contract between the school and the parents. It's a win-win to me all the way.
Tina, what's your feeling about that as a parent? Hang on, Jenny. Tina, as a parent, how would you feel if, I know your daughter's older now, but if your daughter had gotten in trouble in school and the school decided, you know what, we're going to make Alex, it is, right? We're going to make Alex, actually, I do know Alex very well, just so you know. We're going to make Alex go ahead and clean the highways. And so how would you feel about that, Tina?
If Alex did something in school that she should not have been doing, then she needs to deal with the consequences of her actions.
Okay, but don't you think that a lot of times when it comes to the school and the parents, they're not always on the same page, though I do agree with Paula in the sense that, yes, they want, I see your hand up, Brian, that they want the schools to be responsible for whatever is bad with the kid per se. But all the good stuff, the parents want to claim as their own. So now, not every parent would go along with this, and there would definitely be a constructive debate about it. So Brian, you had your hand up. What you saying?
I would like to first say, Lisa, that I think you're kind of on target. Some parents at least do want to do that, claim the good stuff for themselves, and basically have the schools clean up after their kids. It's the same principle as on Wall Street. The people there privatize their gains and socialize their losses. Same difference. But what I was going to say originally is back when all of us, I think, were kids, the indivisibility of authority was still important to both parents and teachers, in as much as if you were having trouble at school, you kind of had to either solve it yourself or be pretty honest about it. You couldn't say the teacher disliked me or the teacher's lying about me, because the parents basically knew how to find out and were ready to find out what was what.
In other words, we had hands-on parents back in the day when we were children, right?
Yes. And also, of course, if you lived in a working class neighborhood and, the cop on the beat caught you doing something you shouldn't be doing, you knew that you were going to get a swipe or two, and you weren't going to say anything to your parents, because then you'd get more.
Okay. Jenny, you've been quiet for a minute. What's going on? What are you thinking, Jenny?
Well, I'm thinking that as soon as you give parents the right to agree or disagree with the punishment, then you're effectively creating an unfair environment, because some parents are going to say, my kid does not deserve to clean bathrooms or whatever it is that they ask you to do. My kid is too good for that, or whatever. And or I mean, there's going to be parents who will say no, and then you immediately have the difference between the kids whose parents say, oh no, when you get suspended, you get a vacation, and the kids whose parents say when you get suspended, you don't. And it's one thing if it's the parents who are, creating the non-vacation, which a lot of good parents actually do if their kids get suspended already. But it's another thing if it's a school thing, but then the parents can override it. So I say no. The rule is the rule should be if you get suspended, you get community service, and there's nothing your parents can say about it. And if they do say something about it, then instead of being suspended, you're out. I mean, they can certainly, if they feel the suspension was unfair, they can certainly argue with the suspension, but they can't argue with the consequences of being suspended, which is that you get service.
You know what, Jenny? That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Let me ask you this, and this isn't on our wall either, but let's see about opinions on this. I don't know if you've all seen. I believe it might have been Brian who posted it on his personal wall, but there's a sign of a woman who I guess got caught stealing from Walmart, and she asked to stand outside of the store with the sign that says, "I'm a thief. I got caught stealing from Walmart." Who has seen that on the panel here?
There was actually a woman, a mother who had her son stand in the busy.
No, this is another one, Paula. This is a different one. It's the actual woman herself.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tina, what's your thoughts about that? Do you think that's a good punishment?
I think it's great.
I think they should make cheaters.
So now everybody knows you're an idiot for stealing. So I thought it was great when I saw that. So
I think they should make cheaters stand outside with a sign
I
saying,
think that's right too.
I think they should be tattooed for you, Paula. They should be tattooed for you. I'm a cheater. Brian, what are your feelings about that, Brian? About, part of your sentence is standing out there with a sign that says, "I'm a thief."
I'm not sure about it. I think we tried that sort of thing back in colonial times, what with the pillory and the stocks. I mean, if we want to bring back the pillory and the stocks, well, maybe it's worth a try. But I'm not sure. Also, Jenny, I basically agree with the suspension and being community service and the parents being unable to do anything about that. But I thought we were talking about other forms of sanction rather than suspension. I didn't know we were coming back to that.
Okay, so everybody's in agreement that, Jenny, what's your feeling about the woman with the sign? Do you think that that's a good part of punishment
Oh,
there?
that's awesome. If somebody steals something, that's what they ought to have to do. Definitely.
Okay. All right, very good. Paula, you were talking about the woman that actually made her son do that. What do you think about that as far as punishment for the child?
absolutely.
Okay, and Tina, is it something that you might have done when your daughter was younger? If Alex got caught stealing something, would you make her wear a sign saying,
I think it's a great thing. I don't know that I could have done it, but I know when we were little kids, if we stole, sometimes little kids steal candy or something from a candy store. If we got caught when we were kids, my mom made us bring it back and apologize. And that is embarrassing. But guess what? That's what we deserve. So,
Yeah, no argument there.
Jenny's got her hand up. Jenny must have a story. Jenny from the block. Tell us, Jenny.
I do. My brother's going to kill me, but I'm telling the story anyway. When he was a little kid, by little I mean 6, maybe 7, he did. He stole something from a store. It was a stupid toy, a couple bucks worth at most. But he so anyway, so he stole this thing, and my mom said to him, my mom obviously she found it. She said to him, "You're going to take it back, and you're going to give it back, and you're going to apologize." So he marched into the store. He gave it to the appropriate person. He apologized profusely for stealing it, just like he was told, and then he said, "I apologize. Can I have it now?"
So what happened, Jenny?
My mom was quite embarrassed, and she pulled him out of the store. And she was like, "Well, that didn't work."
Very good. He should have been rewarded for honesty at the end of it all. So I have a new topic from our wall, and the new topic is from a likable, and it's what are your views on public displays of affection? What about for same-sex couples? Yep, that's a two-parter. Paula, I know that you feel strongly about this. What's up?
I am against PDAs. I think that people these days, be it straight or gay, are way too demonstrative in public, especially in front of children. I mean, come on. You know what? I think that you should always have in mind that what you would not do in front of your elderly mother, okay? And act accordingly. I know these two gay women that, I mean, they're in their, for God's sakes, they're 50, and they're bumping and grinding at parties in front of relatives, and it's just in poor taste. And you know what? Get a room. I mean, when I see two squirrels getting it on, I say get a tree. Come on. I walked into my kitchen the other day and I saw the mops getting it on, and I said get a broom. So,
Tina, what's your feel as Tina's so we see the smoke, Tina. Good going, mate. Okay, so we want to know, Tina, public displays of affection. Yay, nay, why?
I think hand-holding is okay, and maybe a little peck on the cheek, but I have a situation or I witnessed a situation of a public display of affection, and it was a young gay couple, male. I wasn't offended by it, but I was in a parking lot of a store. I was getting ready to go to the store, and there were two young black guys sitting in the car in front of me. Now, when I pulled up, they got very suspicious looking, and they're just, like they were just looking around, and then I got like, okay, what are you two up to? So now I feel bad because I touched them wrongly, but after a few minutes, they kissed each other, and they hugged each other, and then the one got out of the car and went to work. And the other kid looked at me, and I just smiled at him. And I said, I'm so sorry that I made you nervous. And he said, I drove an hour and a half. It was Valentine's Day.
Okay.
He said, I drove an hour and a half to spend the day with my boyfriend. He said, and then when you pulled up, we didn't know if we should kiss or not. And I said, I'm so sorry I ruined that moment for you. I said, but you did not offend me. And I thought it was very sweet. It really was.
I got a question for you, Tina. I got a question for you, Tina. The question is, how long were you staring at him for?
are you a voyeur? What's going on here?
No, but I was watching them because I thought they were up to something. Like they were going to.
They were trying to get up to something. Okay, I'm gonna go to Brian. Brian, public displays of affection. What do you think? What are your feelings on that?
Depends. Holding hands, a minorly kiss here and there, a hug, fine. I think I kind of draw the line at public Frenching, if you know what I'm saying.
What's that?
Roll my eyes and say, please.
Okay, Jenny, what's your feelings about PDA?
Honestly, it's situational dependent. I mean, like we have these things called kiss and rides where you're supposed to kiss whoever's dropping you off, which is really awkward if they're not somebody you would normally kiss. But that's what you're supposed to do.
I've been there. I've kissed on the kiss and rides. I kissed my partner goodbye and got on the train. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, see? So, I mean, it's dependent. I mean, there's a certain level of affection that's perfectly acceptable there. There's a different level of affection that's acceptable in, say, a church building. There's a different level of affection that's acceptable at, say, a party, particularly if everybody else is already doing PDA. You may as well. I mean, obviously, nobody's going to be offended, or if they would have already left the party. I mean, it's where are you? The right question is, where are you? What's acceptable in this situation, and be appropriate. And frankly, I don't think there's any difference between homosexual and
straight. They're called straight people, breeders. What, Paula?
Breeders.
What if you're in an orgy? I mean, I think it might be appropriate in an orgy.
There you go. See, if you're in an orgy, then you should be getting down there.
Okay, so let me just tell you that Cindy says kissing or holding hands for straight or gay is fine, just don't look like you need a room. JR says same sex or straight, there is, this is all capitalized, there is a time and a place for everything. Small letters now. Unfortunately, I feel it is much more dangerous for same-sex couples. I don't get that. So I asked JR, wait a minute, we got Paula that gets it. Paula, explain what JR is talking about.
I think JR's probably, if I'm guessing correctly, gay bashing. I mean, you could be. I've been gay. I've had eggs thrown at me. I mean, I don't know if somebody wanted me to cook them an omelet. I mean, maybe that was why. And eggs looked at me while I was being, holding my girlfriend's hand. I mean, so I think that's what she means.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me go on to say that Sean says I'm fine with hand-holding-ish things, but anything else, straight or gay, capital G there, can and could cause a problem. There are Jerry Springer kind of folks who walk among us. Ain't that the truth? And I laughed. I had to put haha in there. And Brandolin, did I say that right? Okay. That's funny, Sean, and completely true, all caps, especially for us here in South Mississippi. It is a rare thing to witness. I'm sorry. It is a rare thing to witness same-sex couples even walking close to one another, much less holding hands. I personally think it's wonderful to see same-sex couples holding hands and showing affection. I believe that people need to see that we too are in a loving, committed relationship. On the other hand, I don't want to see anyone gay or straight or other making out. Ew, is what she said. So, let me weigh in on this. I would have to say that there is a time and a place for everything. Hand holding, a peck on the cheek, whether it be at the Kiss and Ride or out on Georgetown, is fine. Obviously, beyond that, in my opinion, really, that's about somebody's self-esteem there and what they're trying to make themselves look like. I don't need to see somebody doing something that they would be doing in bed unless they're doing it to me, and I should be in that bed. But otherwise, what do you have to say, Paula? I know you were ready to chime in. What?
Well, I just said I would hope you'd be in the bed with them if you were with them.
I would sincerely hope. Well, it depends on who it is. I might not.
I mean, honestly, I'm a germaphobe, so I'm wearing a hazmat suit when we're kissing anyway. So
that's your problem and why people are cheating on you, Paula. That's the answer right there. This is Lisa Todd wishing you a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Don't forget, it's our world. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk.